Hello YouTube. Alright, it's been a little bit since I got a video up here. I just wanted to hop on, give an update on some training stuff, talk about the podcast just a little bit. We are going to be doing some other content. We got another, Jay has a podcast dropping with a new limited optics guy, Adam Grimm. Yeah, I think so. Anyway, he recorded an hour-long podcast with Adam. Very cool. I've listened to parts of it, so be sure to check that out over on the Hit Factor, the Hit Factor podcast. Check it out over there for sure. That'll be dropping this coming week, Friday. So I'll try to get some little clips of that out as well. So be sure to get over, follow the Hit Factor podcast page on YouTube or your preferred podcast platform. I hope you guys enjoyed the World Shoot episodes 1, 2, and 3. If you haven't checked those out, check them out. But I hope you enjoyed those. We had a lot of fun doing those. Secondly, Jay and I are going to be reacting to Jacob's Race Gun Nationals video. So I would encourage you to, if you're going to watch that, go watch his video and kind of get your own opinions on things, right? See what you see and then compare it to what Jay and I are seeing. Likely everybody kind of sees different things, so I'm actually really curious to hear what sticks out to Jay when we're looking at this video, right? What things are impressive or wonky to Jay being an optics shooter, and I'm not, but we're going to play with some optics 2026. Check that stuff out. Other thing I want to talk about is training. I've got a little montage, hyperlapse video I'll put in with this, but from this morning. But I have a few things I've been working on. Kind of got some things written down here that I just wanted to hit real quick. All right, so training. As far as physical training goes, everything's progressing really well. Getting back into lifting and getting some cardio, extended cardio sessions, feeling really good. Yeah, things progressing very well, feeling very healthy, which is good. That's always a challenge. It's always a challenge to stay healthy and progress, right? That seems to be sort of the journey we all go on of progression and injury and progression and injury and all that, but feeling very good, feeling very healthy, trying not to push too hard, but still want to make progress. So trying to eat well and sort of keep track of what I've been doing and try to progress, do a little better, do more reps, that type of thing. One big thing I want to do for this session, this block, if you will, is I want to grow some friggin' nasty forearms, right? These bad boys. Can't get them in here. Yeah, I want to grow some nasty forearms. I think there's been this weird conversation, and I think it stems from something that Ben said many years ago on his podcast, Ben Steger. And he had a podcast where he talked about grip and essentially said, if you're a normal man and you have decently strong arms, you're good. And the risks of basically training forearms, you're trying to get a stronger grip, was too high. I want to have some nasty forearms, even outside of shooting, right? Just me as a man. I want to have some beefy, intimidating forearms. That's what I want. So I'm going to be training forearms, and I will be curious if it helps in shooting. I really think it will. I think not just having stronger hands. I think that could have a little bit of help, but what I think will really help is having bigger hands, right? And you see this a lot in the arm wrestling world. Those guys, they train all kinds of grip and rotation and all sorts of things with their hands, right? Their hands are so thick, right? They get thicker and they get wider, this way, right? So that's what I'm curious. Can I grow my hands? And you'll see there's lots of montage videos on YouTube of guys that have trained grip stuff a lot and they've grown their hands, right? Gotten thicker, wider hands. So that's what I'm essentially going to try to do. And, it's not my only focus, and I'm only going to do a couple workouts a week. So I think progression will be a lot slower, but I do think it'll be beneficial. And I've already seen progression in my hands from last season, right? Growing this part of my hand right here, this webbing, got really thick and meaty right there. So we're going to keep doing it. And I got a couple different workouts I'm doing. One of them where I do deadlifts and stuff. It's more pinching and holding. I've got some of those fat grips on the deadlift bar. Just doing some static holds and then pinching a 50-pound plate and just trying to hold it for an extended period of time. The other workout I couple with my upper body it's more like rotational. I'm doing like rotation and a lot of rice bucket, and so they'll be kind of hitting it from a couple different ways, and I think it'll be good. Get some variation. I think a lot of variation can help you avoid injury as well. So that's the first thing on the list. We're gonna grow these hands. Jeez, backwards. We're gonna grow these hands, make them thicker. We're gonna grow these forearms, right? We're gonna make those thicker, just cause I'm a man and I want to look stupid, right? Like wonky stupid. Like forearms as big as the biceps, easy. That's what I want. Let's see. What do I got? Try to do more moving and figuring out how that is going to work. Is it something I'll need to train more, or will it be natural? Yeah, so that's a question I have on shooting a dot, right? Is the shooting going to be faster and you're going to do more shooting on the move just because you have the capacity and you have an easier, more efficient sighting system, right? Will the shooting on the move and the moving more and the stage times just be faster because of those things? Or am I going to have to work really hard to get those things, to be able to shoot on the move more and to be able to take those harder shots faster? So that's something I'm curious of. If you don't know, I've shot single stack essentially since 2016. I did 1 year, 2021, I shot production. I didn't stay. Went back to single stack. I love single stack. I love the 1911, right? So I'm curious on that. How is what I know how to do, how is my experience going to translate to shooting more dot? And we're going to find that out. But we got a lot of off season, a lot of cold weather coming up. So that part of it, I just don't know. And I'm not really going to know the answer to that for a while, I don't think. Yep, that kind of covers that next line. And then the other thing, and just like, in general, philosophy for this off season is what can I improve that isn't shooting? So for me, that's moving, right? I get better at moving. I can train my explosive movements. I can get stronger in my lower end, my legs, and I'm weak on that right now. So I think there's a lot of ground to cover there. Build a lot more explosiveness and stability on the lower end. Seeing this one's tough. I think it's something I need to experiment with. Just haven't done a lot. Honestly, going to the eye doctor would be a good idea. I really felt like some things on my vision started slipping this year, and I don't know if that's just from staring at monitors at work all day or staring at my phone too much, or I don't know. Or maybe there's actually something going on there. But my vision did not feel as sharp this year, and I've never had awesome vision, if we're being honest here. I went to the eye doctor many, many years ago, and he told me I could get glasses if I wanted to. So my vision isn't awesome as far as like clarity and whatnot. So I need to experiment with what I can achieve as far as like how can I train, maybe like focal quickness, something like that. I've seen a lot of different like little eye workouts and whatnot. So that's something I'd like to experiment more in this off season. What else can I get better at that isn't shooting? One thing that builds over time in shooting, and it's like whether you train or not, whether you're training a specific thing, just being in the sport longer, you should be gaining match experience. And this comes, when there's a difficult decision to make, when the weather's poor. Just there's so many different factors that you can experience and just have this knowledge and sort of wisdom within the sport. And that can carry you as well. That it's really difficult to beat someone who has been winning and competing for 10, 15 years, right? They're just a force. Like even if they haven't got better at shooting, right? Like their vision is slipping, right? They're getting older and fatter. Doesn't matter. I mean, it does matter. But that experience is still very, very difficult to beat. So that's something I think has started coming into play for me, is just my experience in the game, right? And then final thing that I want to do this off season is gonna be lighter. I was watching videos of myself from 5 years ago, and I was lighter. I was like 15 pounds lighter than I am right now. And I just look like I float around the stage so much better. So I think I need to get lighter. So we're going to have some juicy forearms and, be like 175. And I think that's going to be, that might be important for shooting a dot as well. There's just like, it's a quicker game. So there's just more going on there. So that's something else I want to bring into play this off season. I want to drop another 10 pounds, and man, we need to really stay down there. I really hate yo-yoing around, but that's where we're at. Life of a sugar addict. And that's it. Yeah, and I'll put a little training montage. Not montage. It's just a hyperlapse from this morning, running through a workout. Kind of show my warm up and then some dry fire. I'm doing quite a bit of moving around in dry fire, just seeing how that dot reacts when I'm trying to move across the garage and getting some good reps in. Working on that grip. The grip feels weak because I've been training it pretty hard, so that's something I'll have to play with. Is like how frequent can I train grip and still have like a solid feeling grip, dry fire, right? Not have a grip that feels weak. So yeah, we did that, and then upper body workout, which was pull-ups, dips, did some jump rope in there. The kiddo came out for a little bit, so you'll see her on there. She got pissed and went in. Then we finished it out with the grip work, and the grip work was some banded stuff, banded twists and pulls, and then some rice bucket. I really like the rice bucket. Man, the rice bucket, after a minute of like solid rice bucket, there's a lot of lactic buildup in my forearms. It's a good workout. So anyway, if you have any thoughts on that, put them in the comments. I would love to hear your thoughts on training off season, what you're doing. Definitely go follow the podcast. There's going to be some interesting stuff coming out. And that's it, folks. Catch you next time.